Just how good is Panoptic Mirror in Commander? This card was unbanned yesterday, so let's explore what you can actually do with it in the Commander format. Okay, so Panoptic Mirror is an artifact for 5. It comes down, it has Imprint. This means that for X and a tap, you may remove an instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost X from your hand. So it exiles it, right, forever, and now it's imprinted under the card. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may copy the imprinted card and cast it without paying its mana cost. Now, dating back to 2003 when this card was first printed, it was printed alongside a card called Isochron Scepter. While Panoptic Mirror was the big splashy one, Scepter was the efficient one. This is actually the one that saw a lot of play over the years, because Scepter would come down, exile an instant card 2 or less from your hand, and then for 2 and a tap, you could cast that card for the rest of the game, but you had to choose that exiled card from your hand right when Scepter entered, right? You couldn't change your mind later. Alongside Lightning Helix, or just a counter spell, Orum's Chant, there was lots of cool things you could do with Isochron Scepter, and specifically in Commander, Dramatic Reversal with Isochron Scepter is a combo. But Panoptic Mirror is much slower, however, in theory is much more powerful. The obvious sort of first thing most people think of when they cast Panoptic Mirror, it's going to come down, you're going to tap 5, exile a Time Warp, and now, beginning of your upkeep, you're going to take an extra turn. Now you get infinite extra turns, right? If nobody can interact with you, that's just going to be how it works. Game over, you win the game. That's definitely one of the sillier things you can do with Panoptic Mirror. It's obviously very good. Wrath of God, right? You can just literally Wrath every single turn. Every upkeep, just Wrath the board. That's not very fun for anybody else at the table, especially on a more casual table. But if we're not talking about crazy I win the game stuff with Panoptic Mirror, we're just talking about how can you use this card to great effect. Well, the thing that's cool about it is, because you don't have to exile the card right when it comes down, you can play this, pass the turn, then on your next turn, you could say exile like a Kodama's Reach or a Cultivate, right? Now, every single turn, you're going to get a land into play and a land into your hand. The table might react and take you out, but the table might also just be like, oh, there's just like a big value engine happening on that side of the table. Again, if we're just thinking about like fair magic, like you're trying to build 2s and 3s and play Panoptic Mirror because the card is super sweet, you could play Leaders Helix, right? It's just a big souped up Lightning Helix. Every single turn dealing 4 damage somewhere and gaining 4 life is going to get you a lot of mileage in a game of Commander. Bottom line is that you can definitely do really, really broken stuff with Panoptic Mirror. And if you want to do the classic thing, you can cast it for 5 with 5 more mana, you can tap it, exile, Time Warp, and if you can make it to your next upkeep, you're going to win the game, you're going to take infinite turns. However, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with this that is not that, and I think this card is really cool and definitely very fun to play with.